Hey friends, we're in the pumpkin patch and it is a disaster. The raspberries have taken over. Cutting them apparently wasn't good enough. We're gonna have to rip them out, place the grow bags and containers where we want them, and get it ready for planting. The corn can get planted anytime now. We're past the average last frost date. It doesn't need the full growing season, so I'm not in a huge rush. So I'm gonna be working on this gradually over the next few days, capture it for you in this video. So it's just a matter of getting everything situated back here and planting that corn. So that's what the rest of this video is going to be about. Over the next few days, I'm going to get it done. Here we are on day one, trying to tackle this mess back here. Here's a tree ring that we yanked out of the front yard around the crabapple up there. Over the years, it just kind of, some of it came out of the ground more than other parts, and so it was just lopsided and weird looking. And I thought that could be like a thing to grow in, like a short raised bed kind of thing. I put a little dirt in there and grow something in it, so I thought I would try to make it make sense back here. But in order to be able to do that or even visualize the situation, we got to take these raspberries out. They have exploded into this area, and you can see this is all new growth. Unacceptable. Way too much here. We've just uncovered a grow bag from last year. That's how much all this has grown. Isn't that crazy? This is a neighbor's bookcase or something like that, piece of furniture. Our trash goes to the curb. That's how it gets picked up here where I'm at, and they had it at the curb, and I was like, maybe I can grow in that. So I grabbed my dolly and I drug it back here. I haven't filled it with dirt though, because I didn't want to buy more, and because it kind of needs to be like screwed together a little better in order for it to hold dirt very well. So it's empty for now. I might grow in it, I might not, we'll just see. But I need to be able to walk past it between the raspberries to get to the grape plant in the corner. So after a whole bunch of ripping out, we have a whole wheelbarrow full of raspberries. Sad, because these could have all given us fruit next year, but we can't just let the raspberries go crazy and do whatever they want. They would eventually take over the entire backyard if you let them. After so many years, there's still a lot there. You can see there's still a whole bunch going on. So now it's time to get the grow bags that we have back here in spots that make sense. These potatoes are doing very well. We planted these potatoes together, and yeah, we just gotta get everything put together. It's a piece of wood, throw in the fire pit there. That tote's too heavy to move, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about that, because there's no way I can move that at all. So we're gonna we're gonna kind of like define our lines for the corn. It worked really, really well last year to plant the corn on both sides. We'll get that done. And then this is the next day. Evan wanted to help. He wanted to be in a video and he wanted to do some hard, productive work. So he is helping me break up these raspberry canes into smaller pieces and putting them in that big bag. In our area, all the leaf debris and stuff like that goes into a brown bag and goes to the curb. So that's what we are doing. And I only had one pair of gloves. My other ones were dirty. So he's doing most of the work. He's got the gloves on to protect himself from getting a splinter, except for right there, he just got one. They're not like rose gloves or anything. They just got a little bit of a coating on the bottom side. So little by little, we fill this bag with a bunch of raspberry clippings. We ended up getting all that to fit in one bag though, so that was super great. It's starting to get pretty hot out here too. I think this took us like a whole half hour, 45 minutes. But Evan got it done. I mostly just held the camera and supervised. Good job, Evan.
Good job, me. Hello, guys.
Evan's here with us watching.
Yeah. Do you think I really helped that well?
I do. You helped a lot. You're the only one that had gloves on, so you did most of the work.
True.
And you even helped clean up.
Yeah. I want you guys to rate my haircut on the comments, because I know I had a really bad haircut, but I think it definitely looks a lot better. I got it trimmed down a lot, but yeah. Just put like 1 out of 10 through inside the comments.
Yeah, Evan had he was growing his hair out, so he got it cut instead. He was sick of growing it out.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better. I'm definitely able to see a lot more, and yeah.
So what I decided to do to get rid of this dirt in this tote, since I can't move the tote, is I will just put it on where the corn's going to go, kind of add some nutrients back to the soil and make it a little higher because it's kind of lower because of the corn we planted last year. It's a little lower than the rest of the big square. I got mulch in my shoe, that's why my foot's shaking. So we're preparing the area. We're about to plant the corn. So I have this little auger, just a cheap one from Amazon, and it's just like a regular Ryobi drill, and it works. Not screw, but like auger, little holes, try to go like 1 inch or 2 deep. And I plant my corn very densely, like 4 inches apart, something like that. And I did the exact same thing last year that I'm doing this year. The exact same amount of rows and columns, whatever you want to call it. And everything grew amazingly. So now we're popping 1 seed in each hole. Pretty easy. The corn germinates really, really well. At least it did last year. So this is the same corn, so hopefully it germinates just as well. So I still just do 1 seed per hole instead of worrying about thinning it later if it does germinate just as well. And I guess spoiler alert, everything germinated really, really well. We have a ton of corn coming up. I about fell there. Did you see that? And this corn is Bilicious. Yeah, it's just Bilicious yellow sweet corn, something like that. And it was very good last year. We did have that, smut. Yeah, it had smut last year. Oh, see what I'm doing there? See where I put that bag? Yeah, guess what? That's where that bag stayed. I lost all the seed. I probably had, if I planted the same way every year, I probably could have planted that the same way the next 3 years coming up with the amount of seed that was left in there. That was a bulk bag for about $10, and I've only used it for 2 seasons. So that is a major bummer, because I ended up picking up trash and two soil bags that are laying around here, and throwing them in the tote to carry everything out and up to the patio. And I completely forget that the seed is at the bottom of that tote. And then it rains the next day, and yeah, all the seeds are gone. Toast. And I'm like, where can I plant these? Where can I plant a whole bag so they don't go to waste? Because they had just started to germinate, but they weren't bad yet, but they were past the point of being able to try to dry them out and save them. Yeah, see? We're burying it right now with trash and shovel. So let's get these watered in. So I found a little spot where I can plant a little bit more. That's in a different video. And then the rest, I threw the rest of the seeds in the compost. There's nobody with a big garden near me that could have taken them right away. So now we're on the 3rd day, and we have the bags in place where we want them, and it's just a matter of getting the drip set up. So basically, the goal here is to utilize the drip that's already here from last year that I've already set up, repair what needs to be repaired, and then add what needs to be added, because we'll be needing a little bit more drip in this area. There's a few more containers than last year, but so we can make everything work with the distance. and just add a few more. It gets a little complicated, and this ends up taking quite a few hours because it's kind of like a jungle of drip tubing, the 1/4 inch, that I have to figure out, okay, should I move this here or there? Should I add on to this from here or here? So just kind of like what makes sense. Do we have too many drip tubes on this one line? You know, just make sure there's the right amount of flow. So this is a repair here. We have a bunch of little repairs to do because, I don't know, rabbits, chipmunks, who knows, like to chew on the tubing. I don't know why. It clearly does not taste or smell like food. So when you run out of containers, don't worry. Just grow in the garden soil bag. Treat it like a container. This is my first year doing this. Somebody else gave me the idea and I was like, hey, I like that. That could come in handy. So we're trying it out this year. I don't know if we'll do pumpkins, melons, or yeah, that's it. Pumpkins or I mean not but like summer and winter squashes, and melons. So I don't know which one we'll put here yet, but actually I think we'll be able to do 2. We'll be able to grow 2 things in each bag. And we're going to put drip in it, treat it just like a container, and hope for the best. Hopefully it's not like a really good hiding spot for squash bugs. I mean, it is. I just hope that it doesn't keep me from smashing all of them, you know, like that's my only worry, but we're going to try it anyways. Because I really want like 20 spots in this whole area to be able to plant what I want. Like, okay, there's like 15 different varieties that I want to put in this area, but I want to do more than one of some of them. So 20 spots would be ideal, basically, is what I'm saying. So this is an add-on to what we currently have because I didn't have 3 grow bags here last year. So this is a barbed T, but what I didn't realize was the T is like a capital T, not like a lowercase t where it's like a plus sign or an X, and you can have water going 4 ways. You can only have water going 3 ways. But there's 4 spots to hook the drip up, but there's actually not. It's weird. One of the spots is bigger than the other 3, and that's the one that is like that's blocked, that won't let water flow through. I don't even know why it's there to begin with then, and it has a hole in it too. So this made no sense to me. Why are you there at all, and why do you have a hole in you but no water's coming out? Anyways, so I find out the hard way. I set this whole thing up, and then I'm like, why is there no water flowing through? And then I cut my tubing up, trying to figure out where it's not flowing anymore, and then I realize, oh, that's why. Well, why are you even made that way? See, this is what I was trying to do. Break off into 3 strands, basically. Doesn't work out, but we make it work out by just, I can't remember what I did, but it's fine after I figure it out anyways. So now we have to kind of try to crawl through the raspberry jungle. I wish I had my camera angled a little higher so you could see back there. That's what I was wanting you to see. But when it's on your head, it's hard to make sure the angle is right because you can't see. So we dig out the tubing that went to the container, the black one that was there, whenever we first discovered it or uncovered it when we were pulling out the raspberries on day 1. And we're able to use that same drip tubing for the barrel there. I just have to figure out what I want to connect it to. It's still connected to the 1/2 inch, but anyways, I want to connect it like a long strand to another section as well. Okay, so we're putting goof plugs in this 1/2 inch here. We're taking these drip lines out because this is where the big white containers were, and I couldn't get to the blackberries. There just wasn't enough room here, so they're actually moved to the fence line. We'll see it right, yep, well, right behind us. Yep, right there, beside the blackberries instead of in front of them. So we'll just move them over there. We'll tap into the 1/2 inch behind them over there. And we're going to venture into the space between the blackberry and elderberry. So this drip tubing actually needs to be repaired because there's a bite mark. So I thought, let me just yank it out because these berry bushes are super established. They don't need supplemental water anymore. But I can't seem to yank it out, so the elderberry roots grew around it, and so it's not coming out unless I cut it, but then I have to plug it. So it's kind of like, why don't I just repair it and just move it close to that grape plant there. The grape plant that we planted last year that for some reason I thought would have more sunlight. So I'm shocked that the grape plant has grown at all. I was gonna climb back here and check on it anyways and see if maybe I need to dig it up and move it. But somehow it's right there on the top right of the screen. We're putting the drip around it. Somehow it's doing good. I don't understand. But we'll just leave it, I guess. Now we're climbing into the raspberries to do a repair. This wasn't like, I don't remember why that repair was needed, but there was a big leak, but it wasn't a bite mark. And this over here, this is where I forgot to put a goof plug in. When we were out here planting the blueberries, I was moving the drip around, and when I was editing that video, I was like, I feel like there should be a goof plug there. I don't see it. Well, sure enough, there's not one. So we've got that fixed now. So on my phone there, you can see the apps pulled up. That's the Ratio app that we use. And I just tell it to go, pause, as I'm walking around inspecting everything we've done to make sure everything's dripping like it's supposed to and not assuming, which is a good thing because otherwise I wouldn't have realized that that tea was not the kind of tea I was expecting. So right in here, way back there, oh look, I found a raspberry, is a hole, like a big old bitten hole by whatever rodent decided to bite it. But as I'm climbing in, I spot a spider and I'm like, nope, no, not today. So we're basically gonna leave the hole there. If there's still enough pressure and everything has enough pressure to drip with that hole being there, then guess what? That hole staying there. I should have dealt with it. Oh, did you see that? Somebody or something bit that thing. Now everything is set up in the pumpkin patch and we are going to plant our melon and squash seeds next week, hoping to avoid the squash bugs by planting them later. Looking good. So you have a wonderful day. Feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.